Nowadays, when you think of the G Wagon, you may imagine it cruising down Rodeo Drive, filled to the brim with Louis Vuitton bags. Or maybe parked in front of your local country club with a set of golf clubs sitting comfortably in the back. But this isn't that G Wagon. And today, I'm going to show you exactly why. And before I go any further, I would like to thank Formula One Imports for so generously offering this car to me to review. They're located in Charlotte off of Independence Boulevard. They have many unique vehicles in stock, many exotics, lots of different cool cars. If you're in the market for a car like this, you should definitely check them out. In 1973, the first model of the G Wagon was designed using wood, not clay. And considering the boxy design, I don't think that was very difficult. 6 years later, in 1979, its tires hit the public pavement, though pavement was never its desired domain. This car, as we all know, was designed for both civilian and non-civilian off-road use. By 1989, you still wouldn't consider the G Wagon to be a particularly luxurious car. It was a Mercedes, but no S-Class. But this second generation laid the foundation for what this car would soon become, a status symbol. Today, this transition model has brought the rugged military G Wagon from the battlefield to Beverly Hills, and it still holds on to some of those amenities and options that we will probably never again see in a G Wagon, which is all the more reason to cherish it. One of the options we'll most likely never see again in a G Wagon, an inline 6-cylinder. When you think of inline 6-cylinder, you probably don't think of G-Class. Most G-Classes today are equipped with a V8, and if you're an oil tycoon, you can go for the G65 twin-turbo V12, but you definitely won't find an M103 inline 6 in any new G Wagons. And here is a closer look at the engine bay. Now let's talk design. I think what Mercedes-Benz has accomplished with the G Wagon, no other manufacturer has accomplished in this category. You could say maybe the Land Rover Defender has this, or that the Hummer H1 has this, but I disagree because those are still a bit meathead looking. This car, it combines elegance and sportiness with a boxy, rugged, off-road military design. And I don't think any manufacturer has pulled that off just as well as the G-Class. And let me show you why. If you look at the hood, it has these nice triangular cuts that go down to the grille, very sporty. It has all of these muscular cuts in the hood, the line that goes across the body, the fender flares. Everything about the design, you see the military, you see the rugged boxiness, but it's also elegant and it has a sporty look. It just combined all of those factors so well. The G Wagon definitely has a unique trunk. I mean, it has this fridge door with a tire on the back, and you swing it open and you have all this space. Now this all serves a very practical purpose for the average G Wagon owner. For example, let's say you're in a war zone in the middle of the Middle East and you're taking on heavy AK-47 fire. So what do? You swing open this fridge door with a tire on the back and nobody is going to want to mess with you anymore. Once they see the fridge door swing open off the G-Class, they know there's going to be trouble. And you have no kind of hydraulic support or anything, so this is actually an extremely heavy door for a car with this tire on the back especially. You could probably just skip the gym and just open this a few times. And this model did not have windows to roll down in the back because that's just not cool enough. The general simplicity of a G-Class interior is what makes it so amazing. You have this very small dashboard that just goes straight across, glove compartment and an arm's reach, good space. You have all the buttons you need on this nice flat surface, armrests, and in general there's not much clutter. I mean, I do have these cool DJ switches, but other than that, it's a very neat interior. These are your differential locks that you can activate when you're going up steep inclines or you're just traveling through some rugged terrain. The middle one controls your transfer case. The top one locks the front differential, and the bottom one the rear differential. Now the lights on the left side will glow yellow when these buttons are actually turned on, and when the locks are activated, the right side lights will turn red. In other words, things that the majority of G Wagon owners don't use and don't care about. This car also has a state-of-the-art climate control system. You have all these dials and switches, DJ switches and stuff. I mean, you can literally control the climate with these switches. It's just, if only Al Gore had something like this. Another option we will probably never see again in a G Wagon is the 5-speed manual transmission. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know that they made manual G Wagons back in the day, and as a car enthusiast, that's on me. But I think if a modern G Wagon owner stepped into this vehicle, they might think it's a fake G Wagon because the shift lever has numbers on it. And I don't think Kim Kardashian would be driving around in her G63 shifting gears. So I don't think this will make a comeback, but it's a great option, and I think it's just another reason to collect these and keep these cars safe. Clearance is also very good on the G Wagon. And I'm going to demonstrate by crawling under it like this. I'm 6 feet tall, and this was a horrible idea. But here, you can see the ground clearance is pretty good. What I find to be a really cool feature about the G Wagon is this auxiliary heater, because it's a 1993 model and it has an auxiliary heater to heat up the car or engine before you go out for a drive. Now if you press 1 or 2, you can have preset options, and if you press the flame, you get instant heat. So this is just a really neat option, auxiliary heater to heat up the car before you go out for a drive. In 1993, I just think that was an amazing feature to add. Mercedes-Benz's transition to a more luxurious G-Class is more leather. Previously, you wouldn't really see much leather in the G Wagon when it was first introduced, but this is where leather became more prominent, a more prominent option. And the satisfaction obtained from hearing a G Wagon door open and close is simply unmatched. And the G in G Wagon actually stands for Geländewagen, and this information comes in handy if you ever take one of these cars on a date. Observe. Fräulein, get inside the Geländewagen. Now, how do you actually get around to driving this car? Because it can get pretty complicated. So this lever here is for your transfer case. When it's in neutral, it's on N. Right now it's in a S, which is for street, and G is, I don't know, for gangsta maybe. But here you have your shift lever, transfer case, and your 3 pedals. So what you do is you put the clutch in, you choose which mode you want to be in, whether you want to go off-road, you put it in G. If you're on the street, you put it in S, and then you go ahead by normally shifting. But that can sometimes get confusing. And also, what I find interesting is that this car came with heated seats in 1993 in a G Wagon. which is a interesting feature to find. Yeah, the first time I rode in a G Wagon I was a kid. I never thought the first G Wagon I drive would be manual, because I didn't even know they existed. The clutch is a little numb, but works nice because it has an inline 6 manual transmission. Yeah, it's a totally different feel from what I rode in as a kid. I think it was a G550. Yeah, it was a G550. It was a lot smoother than this, a lot more quiet. This is a lot more rugged. But overall, shifts pretty nice. And it does handle pretty well. Goes over the bumps nicely, so off-road obviously would be a good tool. Almost time to give it a little juice. Yeah, you put your foot to the floor and it doesn't really go anywhere. But again, it's not needed when you're off-road. The 1993 300 GE is a very pivotal G-Class that really set the stage for the luxurious on-the-road and off-the-road SUV that we see today. And you know, it's always going to remain one of the best. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to watch some more, don't like and don't subscribe, because we don't self-promote on this channel. I'll see you later.